So I mentioned that I've got the great privilege of being a LEP board director for almost 6 years, the Leicester LEP board director, and I chair the LEP Innovation Board as well as the LEP's investment panel over the last many years since we started these. So what I wanted to do today is really talk a little bit about what the agenda is for the LEP and the LEP Innovation Board and what we're trying to do here in Leicester and Leicestershire and some of the successes we've had and even more successes that are coming. And I'll try and show you how that is. Looking at that slide, that's an incredibly bold statement, especially when you come out of Brexit, you come out of recessions, you come out of COVID. We are looking for Leicester and Leicestershire to grow by 5% in our economy ahead of the national average. That's pretty ambitious, but I think it's achievable, and it's definitely achievable through the economic growth strategy that the LEP directors and the LEP board and the officers have put together. And if you haven't had a chance to look at that, please do look at that. That's on the LEP website. And it really centers around 4 areas. First one is innovation, and that's why we're really putting a lot of time and energy about understanding innovation and what that means for our population here in our county, and of course, regionally and in the UK. Sustainability, sustainable business is so important. We've seen all of that over the last few years. That word productivity. Also, if we can improve our productivity, then of course we can have economic growth. And I don't understand it. The UK works harder than most of our European partners, but we're not as productive as they are. So we've got some work to do in that area. And of course, inclusivity, which is all about our people, well-being, skills, jobs, all of these type of things. So that's the 4 areas that the LEP is really concentrating on. They line up pretty nicely with what government's trying to say as well. So it comes all the way from central government, regional government, to what we're doing at the LEP. I tend to go on, so I'm going to start jumping. So what does innovation mean? And it means completely different things to lots of different people. And remember our business population here, 90% of all of our SMEs probably employ less than 10 people in Leicester and Leicestershire. 98% less than 50 people. So we're an SME environment, and a lot of the Midlands is like that. So we've got to get that innovation message out, what it means to a business who's growing from a garage startup to whatever size they are, and how they can actually start using innovation to increase productivity and then, of course, grow their business and create jobs. So we've done a lot of work on this over a period of 2 or 3 years of how we get that messaging out and how we attract investment into Leicester, Leicestershire, the best talent, the best people, improve skills so that we can meet that target of 5%. I think this is a very simple way for me, of what innovation really means. And it's about creating jobs, the best product, best service, and really doing things in a more efficient, better way so that your business or your industry sector can grow. So how did we get here? Well, innovation, productivity has become a really sexy words over the last 2-3 years. Everywhere you go, every bid you look at, people are talking about innovation. Government is talking about innovation. Prime Minister gave a big part of his speech only about 10 days ago, all around innovation. And we've been doing this for a long time. As a city and a county, we are incredibly innovative. With our 3 universities and the amazing work they do, our SMEs, large corporates, it's an innovative environment that we're already in. And I picked up on this in 2018, and I convinced the board directors at the LEP and saying, we've got to start working around this area. This is the way we're going to grow our economy. Of course, they all agreed, and thank you very much. There's so many of our LEP directors here today, so try and meet them if you do get a chance at the end. And we started the innovation, we called it the Innovation Week in 2018, which was 1 week of really promoting innovation. And then in 2019, I approached George Oliver, who was at the Leicester Mercury editor at that time, and we created the Innovation Awards. And it's the best awards ceremony, in my opinion, in Leicester and Leicestershire, because it's the one I go to, and I see brand new companies that I never see anywhere else. These innovators, young startups who are talking about their great innovations, which Nick mentioned, some of them from Loughborough here, who come, apply for these awards and network with other people. And then we went on to the MIT REAP. This was Sue Tilley and the team at the LEP led on this. And this was a great project. So Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It's a world-leading program to help you create an ecosystem of entrepreneurial innovation. So we went through that program, learnt a lot of that. There was only 6 LEPs in the UK who were invited to join that, and we were one of them. And it allowed us to get a bit of a benchmark to actually understand what innovation and entrepreneurship really means. And thanks to Bays who funded that. And then the board agreed that we should have an innovation board, really focus down on what innovation means to our SMEs. And that was set up in 2021, which I have the privilege to chair. And then there's a lot of work going on over the last 2 years around a strategy. How do we really message out what innovation is? And talking to our universities, working with them, our large corporates, as well as the real startup and the SMEs. And I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. And of course, we've done a lot of work in 22 and we'll carry on doing 2023. That once you've got a delivery plan, you've got a strategy, you've got to measure your outcomes. And I was very keen, as was the board, that we wanted to make sure we measure that we're actually getting some success. And again, I'll talk about that in a few minutes. So, shaping our narrative, this is where we started. We really picked it down. We came out with lots of ideas and we put it down to 4 areas is what we're really looking to do. The innovation board, that's really developing the leadership, how we come up with what we do in Leicester and Leicestershire, how we promote the strategy. Then you've got the strategy bit. We've got an innovation steering group. So these are the people who are the doers to make sure that whatever ideas are coming through, they're going to go in action and make those things happen. And a lot of those individuals come from the MIT REAP team, as well as new people coming through. So they've been through this process. And of course, we want to develop innovation as well. So the festival, this is 2 weeks starting today at the launch, going on for 2 weeks. Lots of programs involving lots of companies and universities who are actually promoting innovation, productivity, as well as the different events that we're going to run throughout the year. And then once we've got some great innovators, we want to celebrate that. We need to shout much more in Leicester and Leicestershire. I don't think we do it enough about some of the successes, the great work that's going on. And that's where the Innovation Awards, the case studies, all of this work will start talking about celebrating our great innovators in our county. We're only just starting. The 2023 January board meeting we had with the Innovation Board, we signed off the delivery plan. So this is the year when we really get going and start pushing this agenda. But we're already noticed. There's so much already out in the press. People are talking about Leicester and Leicestershire, and that's now getting an innovation culture. You'll remember the Prime Minister gave a speech a couple of weeks ago, and he brought in innovation. And the LEP network, which is the organisation that encompasses each of the individual LEPs, put that out there saying Leicester and Leicestershire are leading on innovation. And that's exactly what we need for this country to grow. Lots of different press going out on there. We've got the Leicestershire Innovation Awards next Thursday. If any of you haven't got a ticket, please do. That's on Thursday evening next week. And we've got Indro Mukherjee, who's the CEO of Innovate UK. I mean, that's a real big thing for him to actually come here and listen. So thank you very much to Will at University of Leicester and Julian Bowery as well, who's arranged that. So he's going to spend a day with us, meet some of our most innovative companies, talk to them, and he's doing a keynote at the awards in the evening to talk about Innovate UK. And of course, we're going to be launching a website straight after this event, and I'll talk about that in a minute. That website, the Leicester City Council have already said they're going to approach DLUC and Bayes to try and get it linked to the gov.uk website around the whole levelling up programme. So we're being noticed already, and that's what this agenda is all about. We want Leicestershire to be the place where people come into and say, this is an innovative culture. We've got some great companies, universities, startups, space, place, and then we want to invest in this place. So that's the whole idea. I mentioned the website, launching straight after this meeting today. It's www.innovativeleicestershire.co.uk. And this is really a place where we're working with partners. We are not worried. Most websites you think, well, I don't want them clicking off my website. They will go in here. This is a signposting environment where they can look at different things, whether you're a business or a university, and find out anything to do with innovation, inward investment, funding, lots of different things. So if you do get a chance, please go on that. It's a great website. It's just starting and it's going to develop as the year goes through. And it's really a place where people can go and find the next, where they move on to. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to shoot through these. So in 2023, we got a group of the Innovation Board. We set that up, and I'm so proud of that board. There's about 18 of us, and they come from startups to SMEs to large corporates, university partnerships, as well as funding people, banks. Everyone is involved as a really collaboration to talk about innovation. And every one of them is taking ownership of one of these pillars, the 10 pillars that we're looking at. So they will be the champion depending on their skills for each of that. And we talk about it every board meeting about what's going on, what have we done, what have we achieved. So thank you to the Innovation Board for all their support on that. We come up with a strategy. We've got some great innovation assets here. Loughborough, LUCEP is one of them, a beacon. We've got Space Park, we've got Myra, we've got Charnwood Campus, so many of them around. we want to be talking about those innovation assets and making sure we're getting investment into that. So that's one area. We've learned communications is a very important point of how you actually get the message across about innovation. What does innovation mean to everyone? Because a lot of SMEs will think, well, no, that's not for me, that's for the bigger companies. Well, innovation, and I saw it in my 30 years building a garage business to a global pharma, it was innovation. It's not just about the new drug discovery or a new formulation of a medicine. It's about the simple things you do in your business, which we all did in COVID and we adapted. They're the things that are most innovative, and it's getting that message out to people is what we're looking at. Advocates, so many people here working with organizations. We did an event at the Barclays Eagle Lab with DMU, where we brought in accountants, lawyers, talked about the whole innovation agenda and encouraging them so that they go and talk to all of their clients and understand what innovation productivity means. Universities, of course, 3 fantastic universities. Working with them, working with businesses so that universities and businesses work much closer together. There's more products, not just the biggest things like KTPs. There's other things that they could work together. And also making smaller businesses realize that they can work with universities. Their product service is good enough, because a lot of them think that, well, no, that's for the big guys. We can't do that. So how do we encourage that partnership? Business support, really important. We've got to make sure all of our organizations, companies are getting that help. Once we give them the idea, they know that they can be taken through the process of helping them develop their business and grow. And of course, the festival, incredible 2 weeks. My thanks to the LEP team, to George Oliver, Urshad, and everyone who's been involved. It's been a lot of work to put these 2 weeks on. And many of you are involved in events that you're running or speaking at. So thank you very much for doing that. And that's going to be going on over the next 2 weeks. And case studies, I talked about that. We've got great innovators here. We want to really highlight them. We want to make sure that Westminster, Whitehall are hearing about those stories. We're bringing ministers here to come and see those people, meet them, and also come and see all of our innovation assets. Culture, we all know in our organizations. We want a culture of innovation and productivity in Leicester and Leicestershire, but it starts from the culture of any business or organization. So building that culture and helping them do that. And language. If you don't get the language right, this topic can get all messed up. Productivity is one of them that I don't always understand, and how you actually do it. And many SMEs don't understand that. So we're going to work on the language. So that's our 10-point delivery plan that we're going to work on in 2023. So where do we go next? Of course, we want to make the festival the biggest we've had. We've had some incredible organizations joining. We've had it's sold out. We had to turn people away. So we can see that message is getting across. We'll implement the delivery plan. We've created a matrix where we're going to measure outcomes. So these are data that are available in the public domain. So we can see that we are actually having some success in this agenda, measuring through how many nominations we get on innovation awards, maybe how many Innovate UK grants, how many more people are doing R&D tax credits, so many different things, about 30 lists that we've got to, and we will measure what our success is. Lots of programs coming through. And then of course we get into phase 2 of our events. So I would say to you, please get involved. You saw the website there, you're seeing the innovation agenda. We need funding for this. We need people who can support, who can be patrons on the website and help us run events and things like that. So if your organization wants to do things like that, get involved. Please contact Urshad, Sue Tilley, George Oliver, myself, and come and talk to us if you want to be much more involved. We need a bit more funding to take it to the next step, to actually allow us to grow this whole agenda. But I'm hoping you've seen that there's something started, we're being recognized, we're being noticed, and it's going to carry on over 23 and beyond. Thank you.